Hello there, Dr. Rainbow. Today I will be sharing my answer to the question for the final exam. So I decided to answer the question in regards to what essentially is a well-lived life. So for many, many think that it is, riches, it is degrees, it is, obtaining property and this and that. But I think that in the end, it's in reality who you are. So my answer to the question is that a well-lived life is a life where you become the best you possible. So what does that mean? Well, throughout the readings this semester, I obtained 4 points that I decided that to explain in this video. So 1, honor your parents. 2, love thy neighbor. 3, do not do any harm. And 4, follow God's laws. So for the first one, honor your parents. Why do this? Why do many of the readings that we read this semester say to honor your parents and obey them and follow their footsteps? Well, I think that it's because they've lived longer and they have more knowledge. So if you're able to follow their guidance, you're able to learn more. And through the readings it says that you're able to live longer. So this can be seen throughout the readings that we've read. For example, the covenant code in Exodus. There's 2 passages in Exodus 21:15 and 21:17, where it says, whoever curses father or mother shall be put to death. So in that quote, in that verse, it says that it puts them in a higher position, where they're almost saint-like. So and then in the holiness code in Leviticus 29, all who curse father or mother shall be put to death. So once again it says the same thing in Amenopee and Proverbs 23:22, listen to your father who begot you and do not despise your mother when she is old. The 10 commandments, honor your father and your mother so that your days may be long in the land that the Lord your God has given you. And then in Sirach, once again it says honor your parents. So basically honoring your parents, you're able to obtain their wisdom and you're able to maybe not make those mistakes that they did and learn more. So that's the first point that I made. The second point was love thy neighbor. So this can be also seen in various different books and readings that we read through the semester. For example, the covenant code in Exodus 22:21, you shall not wrong or oppress a resident alien, for you were aliens in the land of Egypt. Holiness code, Leviticus 19:18, you shall not take vengeance or bear a grudge against one of your people, but you shall love your neighbor as yourself. Sermon of the Mount, Matthew 5:44, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. Didache, you shall love your neighbor as yourself. So if in this idea, love your neighbor, so it means to not harm them and love them for who they are, not judge them. With this, you're able to view very different point of views and many ideas that you can make. So you're able to grow personally and obtain more friendships and maybe make those enemies love you, so you're able to grow emotionally and mentally. The third point that I made was do not do any harm. This can be seen in the covenant code, Exodus 23:19, you shall not boil a kid in its mother's milk. So in this it says, it basically shows that it's perverse to use the source of birth as a source of death. In the holiness code, Leviticus 19:14, you shall not revile the death or put a stumbling block before the blind. In Amenepi, it said, do not rob the poor. Proverbs, do not rob the poor because they are poor, or crush the afflicted at the gate. The 10 Commandments, not murder, not, commit adultery, not steal. The ritual Decalogue, Exodus 34:26, you shall not boil a kid in its mother milk. So once again, it shows to, not do any harm. And the Didache, once again, it shows those commandments: you shall not murder, adultery. So, and it also says to flee from evil. So that's a third point. And then the fourth point, follow God's laws. So this can be seen in the Holiness Code, where, God explains to Moses to follow his laws, and if you should do this, you may live on the land securely. You should produce many fruits. So, and if you don't follow these laws, God's laws, he's gonna bring terror and may let enemies go against you. So that being said, I think that regardless of many people's ideas on how to live a prosperous, life, it just doesn't have to be physical or, things or, things of that sort, but it must come from deep down inside of you. So I think that that's the answer. Like I said, you must, those are 4 points that I made. Of course, there's many more, but I think that, obey your parents, love your neighbor, do not do any harm, and, follow God's laws are some of the things that God or the readings told us throughout the semester to live a prosperous life. Thank you. I hope you like it. Let me know if there's any questions. Thank you so much. You have a great summer.